Everybody, this is John. Kind of a strange day in the markets. We'll take a look at bigger charts, i.e. daily charts and things like that. Let's dive in here, look at some 5-minute charts. Today, gold, nice kind of steady uptrend. You can see here we came into the voodoo line here, the skyline, traded sideways, and then you can see the nice little volume pickup here, and then we just drift up into what I call the pausing point, pull back to the 21, we just kind of consolidate here, and then what happens? We build up a squeeze. It's a pretty classic pattern there where, as you consolidate here, in this case you don't get a squeeze that pushes you up, you get a volume surge, and then we consolidate, and as we consolidate we get a squeeze. Guess what? That takes us up to the next pausing point there. And then from there, we're just kind of hanging out. Obviously now, the gold futures markets, the cash session is closed, but we're building up another squeeze, and I'm anticipating that we actually just keep on heading up to that level. So these levels are just useful in terms of being able to manage a trade, where to take a profit, et cetera, et cetera. If we step back a little bit and look at a daily chart, you can see that we obviously had a clean downtrend here for a while. We stopped right here at the snow line, and then since then have turned higher. Now we don't have a daily squeeze setting up, but we do have a monthly squeeze. Now obviously this is something that can take a while to unfold. You can see the last up one here had a big move. This one was obviously resulted to the downside. This one, if it triggers, would be a long because momentum is going higher. So it's interesting here. Now, keep in mind, I'm looking at gold futures, but you can trade GLD with this. With GLD, I always like to look at the futures, and yes, there's a squeeze here, but they're not as clean because GLD is an ETF, and the ETF only trades during the cash market session, so only 6.5 hours a day, whereas gold futures trade nearly 24 hours. So that's why I look at the gold futures. I get signals off of there, but then can actually take the trade with GLD. In this case, I love the volatility here. The implied volatility is low. It means we don't really need to worry about trying to get too theta positive. Okay, you can see the theta decay here is low. And we went and got some in-the-money calls 44 days out. And that way on the gold futures, if we can break out above 1220, I'm looking for a fairly quick move to 1260 or so. And that would result in about a $4 move here in GLD. Here you can see GLD. GOLD is a gold stock. Of course, they move similar, but kind of the same idea here. All right. Other news. You can see the huge chart for this. Let's look at how about a 15-minute chart? So this is GoDaddy. GoDaddy, the domain, the web domain hosting service. And little volatile today, first day of trading, $25.50 and a high of about $26, but it did close, looks like about 30% over its IPO price. So this will be a fun one. We'll get some options trading on it. I'm anticipating that it'll be a little bit on the volatile side. All right, so in the premium video, I'm going to talk more about kind of bigger picture stuff. But right now, the only longs that I'm interested in are stocks that, are up on days like this. So Twitter, we've got a nice uptrend here. We've got a squeeze, consolidation pattern. Obviously, there's a lot of resistance here at the voodoo tree line at 51.98. If we can break through that, looking for a clean move higher. And then I also like Facebook here. So Facebook came down and has tested some strong support. All right. And that's the kind of stock that I feel comfortable buying here, as opposed to something like Federal Express, which part of the transportation index is on the verge of a fairly major down move. Okay, so just kind of keep in mind that we've got a tale of two markets here, and the voodoo lines are telling the story. All right, so for those of you that don't have the voodoo lines, and also, by the way, for those of you that do, there's a free class coming up that you can go to on Thursday. But if you don't have them, this is a premium indicator. They're super powerful. You've seen it in my videos how I use them all the time, and they're one of the few things that, I mean, there's a lot of indicators that are out there, but what you need are levels. You can have oscillators and all these different things, but they only work against levels, okay? And so what are the best levels? The best levels that I've found are voodoo lines, and they don't change every day. They're there. You can plan against them. So normally on our site, these are $3,000. It's a premium indicator. These are done meticulously by hand in terms of research and things like that too, with an update of $97 a month. About once or twice a year, we'll do a special where you can do, instead of having to fork out $3,000 for it, you can do $997, get the futures version plus the stocks version for $997, and then just $47 a month for updates. This is one of those things that can pay for itself many times over, and it's a valuable investment in your own trading future. So if you like those, I just want to let you know that that's an opportunity to get them for about 2/3 off. And I'll be doing a class essentially on how to use these Thursday, April 2nd, from 1 to 3 East Coast time, okay, and that's 12 to 2 Central. This is a free class if you purchase the Voodoo lines. And we're going to be talking about in-depth look at incorporating the Voodoo lines into your trading plan, how to use the Voodoo lines in multiple time frame analysis to put yourself on the right side of the trade, live trade setups that are happening at the time. And if you already have purchased these before, don't worry, you can go to the class for free and you will get an email invite to that. You don't have to do anything, all right? So looking forward to seeing you on Thursday. You guys have a great rest of the day, and we'll see you at the next update.